All right, gang, MATH6620, or again, whatever class I may decide to use this in. This is one of the coolest videos I've created in a while. I know it sounds dorky, but what I want to show you in this video is how to create graphs, scatter plots, but more than just how to do a plot command out of R. So guys, anyway, first thing we need to do in this would be to install packages, and I'll go ahead and tell you this is going to take a while. It took me a while to download it. In fact, I started this video and I was downloading it. It took forever. I decided to scrap it and wait till I downloaded before putting the video up. So anyway, install packages. About midway through, or actually I don't even think it's midway. I think it's closer to the beginning. You will get, I forget exactly what it's called, but it'll say something like install source compilation or install compilation for sources or something. But anyway, it's going to be obvious because it's going to give you the choice of Y or N, yes or no. And guys, what you want to choose here is no. Oh, one more thing. You have to insert after ggplot. You'll insert dependencies. Equal true. So this will go right there. So again, that'll go in the install packages command. Again, choose no. And then once you get this installed, you will install access the library. Okay. Now I want to get out of this and get into R. And where is R? And I'm going to use the package that I created, or the file that I created from the SPSS file, exam data or exam anxiety. So guys, first thing I want to do is install my working directory. Well, oh, I misspelled desktop. So I want to get my data and use the read.csv. Call it exam anxiety. And in the meantime, I also want to just get the names. So guys, we did some recoding, recode gender and recode exam, but we didn't save any of that in the data frame, so it's not going to be there. So in the simplest form, what I could do is just look at a scatter plot. I would want anxiety first and exam second, because exam is a function of anxiety in this data set. So you can see what I get is I get a very bare bones basic scatter plot, and you can see by examining the scatter plot that we don't even have a linear relationship. So we would really need to give a lot of thought to whether a linear regression techniques would even be applicable or appropriate. But nevertheless, I'm going to stick with this data set and show you some pretty cool stuff. All right, so let's get the package that we installed. Oops. And we can go do some cool stuff. So first thing I want to do is I want to call this scatter, so we give it a name, because we're going to start out with a shell, and then we're just going to keep adding to the shell and do some pretty cool things to our graph. So I want to use the ggplot. I want to use the data set, AES, and I want to just keep it simple with anxiety and exam. So when I hit that and I type scatter, you're going to expect to see this really cool picture that Dr. Darbo told you were going to get, and you do it and you get nothing. You're like, well, what went wrong? Well, you haven't done anything yet. By this command right here, all you've done is just created the object. I like to think of you created the shell. Now we can go start doing cool stuff with it. So the very first thing that I would want to do that I think is kind of cool is I would want to take the scatter plot, but I would want to add the points. And guys, I do that by GEOM underscore point and start beginning parentheses and parentheses. So when I do that, I add the points, and you can see that I just get a little nicer scatter plot than I do with the base version of R. But again, the cool part is what I can even do to this scatter plot. So guys, so I'm going to go up, and I'm going to add some more stuff so I could actually come in and put some labels. So that's LABS. So if I wanted to create a nice label for X, if I wanted to create a nice label for, so implement that, and you can see that I've added the labels for the x-axis and the y-axis. All right. Now the next thing I'd probably want to do is I'd want to take a look at the regression models. So guys, I can add GEOM underscore smooth, and I can do method equals LM, linear model. So guys, what's going to happen now is once all the dust settles, okay, what's going on here? It's not applicable for depth. Makes no sense. What did I do wrong? Guys, I've done this 1,000 times. That should work. Well, I have no idea what's going on here. It shows it. But then when I try to expand it, well, guys, I have no idea. That's just insane. But anyway, let me explain what you get here once it all stabilizes and works. What you get is you get the line of best fit, the least squares regression model that we're going to get into a lot in future videos. But you also get an indication of the prediction intervals. For example, if we take an anxiety score of 50 and take one student, and we want to predict their exam score simply from their anxiety score, we would come up to the model, come over, and predict that to be about, that would be 75, so about 73 or 74. But you got to realize that for all students who have scored anxiety score of 50, we expect variation in their predictive, in what we would predict their exam score to be. Now, you can notice back here at 75, because we have more points at the, at 75 or closely around 75, we're going to have less variation in the predictive interval because the standard error is going to be smaller. However, when we come back in here, compared to, say, prediction anxiety score maybe 12.5, we have very little data there, so we have a high standard error. Therefore, it leads to a larger confidence interval in terms of the prediction interval. So I think that's something kind of cool that ggplot2 provides to you that you can't get from just the basic plot from R. Now, another thing that you could do is you could, if you so desire, maybe you don't like blue, maybe you don't like Kentucky, maybe you're a Ohio State fan and you prefer red, you could go in and change your line of best fit, your regression line, to where it is red. Personally, I think blue is much prettier than red, but that's just a personal opinion. But I think the coolest thing that we're going, and I'm not going to get into this a lot because this ggplot2 just expands your horizons just crazy ways for box plots and histograms and different types of plots. But something that we can do is we could go back to the original. Okay, let's go back to here, but let's say we would like to come in and create a plot where we not only look at anxiety or exam over anxiety, but we would also like to take a look at gender. So I can come in and just put color, COLOR, equal gender. So now my scatter plot is going to be presented over gender. So I'm going to come in and put scatter, and what's going to happen? Nothing. The reason nothing happened is I've only created the shell. So guys, I'm going to want to come in and do scatter, and I'm going to want to add some points, right? So let's go. And what happens? Pretty cool. You end up getting the points coded across gender. You could actually come in and change the color if you so desire. But again, something else you could do is look at the linear models. Let's do that. So I would want to come in with geometry underscore smooth. Method equal linear model. So what you get there, again, is you get this blue line, or I guess more of a well, whatever color that is in red. We get the linear model and the prediction intervals across gender. So guys, just an introduction to some cooler things that you can do with some plots. I could go on. I love this kind of stuff, so I could go on and on and on. But this is the only stuff that I've actually put to memory. So for now, so guys, enjoy the video. It was a short one. Take care.